Greetings, Keechlings. Keech Prime here with my live reaction of Dr. Stone, chapter 178. Okay, last chapter was, interesting. We had, like, remote tactics, basically. You had, Stanley's side, like, ungunking the plane's engine by contacting Brody, and he's like giving them instructions because there apparently isn't a single engineer amongst them, and there's a bug still in my room. Um, yeah, it's a theme this week's videos. But yes, also, so while that was going on, we had remote tactics on Senku's team as well. The Kingdom of Science, I guess technically is what they're still called, but yeah, they found a watchmaker by the name of Joel, I believe, and he kind of started taking apart the Medusa, which they had recovered from the river from, earlier on in this arc. And yeah, he found out that there was a diamond somehow powering the thing, and yeah, he popped it out, put it back in, and then they activated it, and he got turned back to stone. So it was interesting, but hey, they can always bring him back, right? So, but yeah. Anyway, let's see here. We're still. I like that there's a color page. Total success. Also, we're seeing the colors on the back of the jacket of what the kingdom's logo. It's blue and pinkish red. We managed to reactivate the petrification device by hand. Poor Joel. He didn't know what was happening. Okay. Ooh, nice double color spread here. Mostly just everyone, giving the peace sign. That's it. Let's see here. Science scales mountains. Oh my god, how are they going to go up the mountain? Let's see here. Aw, she's reviving Joel. I swear I never can remember her name. Her name is like one of the hardest ones for me to remember, mostly because it was a pain in the ass to always pronounce. I think it's just, what is it? Crap. I swear. And then I can't ever read it when I read it and actually see it. So it's like, but whatever. It's our little craft girl. She's reviving him, and he seems kind of like, So by tinkering with the mechanism, you squeezed one last dying gasp out of it. Maybe. It's not lighting up anymore. That wasn't helpful. Just 1 minute now, and this stone world is being a quitter suddenly in vogue. Oh, so he actually plans on like getting this thing running again. As a pro, I intend to tackle my assigned task until I can't work anymore. The dude who was all fidgety with a lady 2 seconds ago. Oh, that's why he's acting that way. I forgot about that. Is suddenly acting like hot stuff in front of the guys, no matter how brutal the job. I will scale this proverbial mountain so long as it stands in my way, and while that's happening, the rest of the group actually found the mountain ranges, so they are technically out of the desert, I guess now. We'll climb these mountains like BAM! Haha, this is our Mount Tenno? Mount Tenno? What? Mount Tenno? No, it's the Andes range. Mount Tenno is a Japanese idiom for signifying an obstacle that must be overcome to turn the tide of battle. Ah, so Francois coming in with that tip, because I wouldn't have known that. The Andes, huh? I feel like I've heard that name before. Teju actually remembering something like that. Okay. Looks bad. This range seems to go on forever with no gaps. Little bit. Huh. There's clearly no going around them, which means, like it or not, we have to cross right through, and they killed an armadillo. I guess they won't go hungry as long as they find armadillos. Well, the gang, and good Lord, Senku, you could be a little more, you know, less feral with your eating there. There's a large ass chunk of meat that he's just shoving in his face. While the gang in Corn City analyzes the device's mechanisms via radio work, or remote work, we're speeding off to Ground Zero to find the original device that started this mess. Our only hope against Stanley is to find and activate the other petrification weapon. For such a long... I still don't know why they think it would even still be there or operable at this point. Like, what would it have to be made out of to have survived just to survive, but then also to be operable? Is completely inconceivable for me, unless Y-Man and everything were actually aliens all along and they had like super advanced tech that could survive that long. I don't know. For such a long journey, I insist that you keep yourselves well fed. Okay, so while everyone's kind of like, stuffing their their gobs, Francois, I'm telling you to eat. Keep in mind, we're short on time. Hyoga has a bone just sticking out of his like mask and everything. Okay. He doesn't like to show... Well, he doesn't even have scars. Those were just his markings, but like, you've been revived. They're no longer there. Visual gag, I guess. Stanley's people will have the plane repaired before we know it. But only if we make it to the Amazon rainforest. Those huge trees and their canopy will provide a natural barrier. That's how we'll win, since their plane can't attack or land there. Ooh, that could be... Yeah. I mean, that would make sense. It's a natural defense, but also... if they did try to land, they would just crash. Like, unless they just found, like, one little patch of ground to land on. But yeah, what? Chelsea makes some of the weirdest faces. I mean, it's not unlike other characters, I suppose, but it's like... Awesome. How much further to that rainforest barrier thing? So, Teju looking like Luffy right now with the meat on bone. Hard to say, since even nature's changed a lot over thousands of years, as we witnessed back in Japan. And Chelsea's like, my time to shine. No prob. This really is our Mount Tenno. Right after we cross the Andes, we'll run into that dense rainforest and be home free. How do you know that percent? How can you possibly know that? This area wasn't even a desert thousands of years ago. Since you're a geographer, do you know what the land's like up ahead? Kinda, in a way. Oh, now she's not as confident. Don't believe me? Then take snow in Japan. Let me guess. There's a ton more snowfall now than in the old days, right? Why, yes, she's right. That's why we had to wait for the spring before our battle against Senku. Hang on, so basically, like, the climate change, essentially. So, like, it definitely, I'm guessing, but how would you know about the... Now I'm just confused. But I guess because of the mountains, it kept the desert at bay. So, like, And there's a lot of rainforest in South America, less than I think ideally we would want, but the you know, but yeah. So I guess it's feasible that it's there, but I still would be a little skeptical. Anyway, hang on. How are you seeing the other side of the world without really seeing it? Okay, Crumb. I mean, it's a fair question. Humans turning to stone meant a dip in global temperatures. I guess. Let's see here. The icy Arctic sea currents started flowing north. I thought the seawater around the equator seemed chilly. Oh, so everything just really just shifted. It's La Mina. La Mina. I feel like I've heard of that, but I'm not sure. Ding ding. Aw, you're in sync again. I do love that it was Senku and Dr. Zena that said that. Ding ding. I'm still lost. Please continue. So Crumbs, he wants to learn. Colder. Excuse me. Colder seawater makes warmth gather here. The air gets all shook up, and she's just got like a. Interesting that she knows this. Like I'm sure this is part of geography, but it seems more like meteorology that she's kind of giving us as well. Or is there climatology? No, I don't. Like the study of climate. I guess that would be in meteorology, wouldn't it? Anyway, let's see here. Meanwhile, the whole shakeup pulls cold air down from here. Chilly, so much snow. Oh. But simply, when the waters near South America grow cold, Japan receives more snowfall on the other side of the globe. Ah, even I get it. Okay. I'm surprised Teju gets it. Because I'm not fully sure I get it, other than just, different shiftings of things. But, wow, that's bad. It's like the whole world is connected by science. Well, it kinda is. Cold seawater also means less humidity and less rain. Haha, that explains why the region turned into a desert. Okay, makes sense. Still, this mountain range cuts off the other side from any effects of the ocean's temp. Get it? Getting over these mountains will drop us into another world where the Amazon rainforest spreads as far as the eye can see. And for the freaky mountain crossing route, we gotta play musical chairs. They're only going to send so many. Come again, says Luna. Tell me, Luna, how much do you weigh? Oh, that probably didn't get. Oh, okay. Josie, the blunt strikes again. How's that blunt? What's wrong with asking someone's weight? Oh, Kohaku. I'm 90 pounds, 40 kilograms, I think. That's our Miss Luna, so slim and so they're having a time over there. Wait, now with those proportions? Nah, I need the real number. So some of them are picking up that she's lying. We gotta balance the bikes by weight. Sure, we didn't put much thought into the teams when we left in a hurry. But for this forced uphill off-road climb, our bike trios should be more balanced, or else the heavier teams will have a tougher time climbing. Redoing the bike teams? Oh, Luna wants to be with Senku. Well, if possible, and yes, I realize that weight matters most, but still, I have a feeling that Senku and I being on the same bike would work uh, our great balance wise. Or out great balance wise. Chelsea has a thought. Oh, I get it. Senku's the dude you're crushing on, Luna. Lovey-dovey stuff is like totes the best. Oh, she is the blunt again. And and Luna's just like, yeah, I wish you hadn't said it out loud, though. I mean, it's nothing to get bent out of shape about, but yeah, we're dating. No, you're not. You helped save his life. That's about all it amounted to. Your average relationship between two cool and capable adults. And I forget, it's Carlos, but who's the guy with the glasses? I always forget his name. I always want to think something that begins with A. I can't remember. Anyway, say what? So that they're obviously annoyed. I have my doubts, says Kohaku. Back when we talked on the Perseus, I didn't even need an answer. Now just say you'll think on it. Once you're all better, will you be my boyfriend? And he's like, huh? Sure, sort of like a political marriage. And speaking of, you probably have some guys who follow you around, right? And just thinking of her two roadies, I guess you could call them. You're not wrong. It's no big deal, but obviously I'm such a capable gal that you'd just assume a thing like that, right? I don't know about your side's power structure, but I'm thankful if we get one or two more people on our side. Well done, Luna. Oh, she was so happy. She has a heart in her mouth. She's just thinking about that, and it's like, it's not the way you think. And here comes Chelsea with something more blunt. Doesn't sound like you're an item to me. It doesn't? Oh, the crushed look in Luna's face. This is Senku we're talking about, so I assumed as much. Yeah. Kohaku speaks the truth, and the other two are like, oh, thank God, Luna's still possibly the chance of being ours. I gotta try harder then. I see you, dear Chelsea. Just put everyone at ease with talk of love to make it a bit easier to discuss how much we all weigh. Nope, I was just prying because I felt like it. Doesn't matter how much we weighed way back whenever, because that number is 10 billion% guaranteed to have changed after a few years living in the stone world. I mean, possibly. They're probably like a bit like building more muscle because they're having to do things more by hand, not due to machines and stuff. So like they're probably heavier, also due to maybe not having the best, meals available. So like, between like the physical labor and not the best food, probably overall everyone's a little heavier than they used to be. He's made a scale out of the tires. Suika weighs apparently freaking 2 bags of whatever the hell that is. Scale acquired. Oh, right after reviving, I made a new ruler based on my height of 171 centimeters, and 10 cubic centimeters of water is exactly 1 kilogram. Okay. Holy crap. Apparently Kohaku ain't so light. She's 52 kilograms. I don't know exactly what that translates to though. And Luna is like, oh God, they're going to find out that I'm a fatty. I guess, I don't know. Oh my God, we just have all of their numbers. Okay. We got, I'm not even going to read these out. So yeah, that we've got their heights and we've got their weights. So that means Francois, Suika, and the boiler are going to be on one of the bikes. And then we have uh, Yukio, uh, Hyoka, or Hyoga, and Kaseki. They're on another bike. Carlos, Zeno, and Max. Oh, it was Max. Why do I keep thinking A names? Um, they're on the third bike, and all of these are roughly around 200 kilograms. So they stay pretty consistent. Let's see here. It is interesting that, like Bo, Fluna's henchman, and Zeno are all on the same bike. Then Gin, Tsukasa, and Chelsea are on bike 4. Teju, Kohaku, and Luna are on bike 5. And the final bike is Ryusui, Senku, and Chrome. So you put both of your scientists and your captain, or your pilot slash every kind of driver, all on one bike. I feel like that's not a good thing, but whatever. Okay, so now they're all riding out. Okay, they're heading up the mountain, it looks like. Uh-oh. It's still hard going getting up there. They're actually having to push now. Seems like it's the end of the line for our bikes. Good. Ready to fly. Okay, so the plane is back because we're now with Stanley's group again. So the plane's been fixed. Sadly, we don't have the time to sit around in frustration. Stanley's gang is about to come at us in their plane. Okay, so Yukio, I'm guessing, sees them on their little radar. Do we have to toss the bikes and cargo and keep climbing with nothing but the clothes on our backs? Gah, not happening. The climb's bound to kill us. Nope, we're not leaving anything behind. Are you going to tell me that all the bikes probably combine in some form or fashion? And then their collective drivetrain? Like, you have like a couple people on the bikes for steering purposes and whatnot, but then watch the rest of them start pushing, to help give it just that extra oomph. I hope that's the case. But what does Senku have in mind? Let's see here. Okay, the plane has been launched with the elite radar man. We'll compete against that plane with a transport route born of science. A ropeway. How were you going to get up to the top of the mountain and cable your way from peak to peak, maybe? And would that even... You said you're not going to abandon the cargo, so I'm assuming you're going to turn some of the bikes into the cable cars? I don't know. I'm confused. We're making that now. So Gin's like, okay, lol. Like I said, all sorts of vehicles across South America. So Chelsea's happy with it. Ridiculous. Okay. Interesting enough chapter. Discussing the how things have changed climate wise in this new world, and how certain things have shifted around. Parts that were once deserts are expanded because of the shiftings of temperatures and climates. So okay, makes sense that needed to be explained at some point, because they even kind of mentioned here and there that certain things weren't like they used to be. But then again, that also makes sense. A lot happens in thousands of years. Then we have the Stanley is on their tail, and because of that, they're having to try and get up the mountain as quickly as possible. And they're going to make cable cars. I still want to see how that's going to be implemented. Because, like, unless they're going from peak to peak, maybe they're just going to. I'm surprised they aren't just going to use a zip line, but, like, each person carry, like, a little bit of supplies with them, and then they might have to, obviously forgo using the bikes. But, like, they'd be able to keep some of their possessions with them so that they have food and whatnot. You do need some kind of resources and rations. And then from there, they just kind of like, say Kohaku, she like throws an arrow or something and it beds in the rock, and then like someone goes across it, that's real light, really makes it secure so that, the zip line doesn't snap. And then from there, they just kind of zip from like mountain peak to peak. And I thought maybe that's how it'll work. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. This series is interesting in how it implements certain ideas. So I do look forward to it. But yeah. Anyway, I guess that's about all there really is to say, other than, Luna's whole like hiding her weight, and now we know all of their weights, all condensed and whatnot, so, and their heights. So that's some useful information, I guess. And her whole love of Senku is kind of, that dream's kind of being dashed now, isn't it? But yeah, we'll see how things develop in that regard, I guess, if at all. And also how the cable car ropeway works in the next chapter. So yeah, anyway, let me know what your thoughts and opinions were on this chapter. Anything I misunderstood, please let me know down below. Check out my other content, see what you like, suggest things for the future. Links down below for all my social media so you can keep up with my content and have ways to contact me. I stream on Twitch where I do gaming, and I'll tweet it out when I go live, part of the One Punch Man podcast on Grim Reaper's channel, so go check that out. And as always, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, Quiche-lings. Cable car across the Indies. Could be fun.